Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Broadcasting live worldwide.
Hi everyone, my name is Angel and I'm the host of Have Faith, Let It Begin. Today is Friday, TGIF, December 11th, 2020. Yesterday, I shared with you a personal testimony on how during my depression, I just did not want to come home for the holidays. A lot of you wrote very kind things and I wanted to take the opportunity to say thank you. It was a long journey, a long road, but I wanted to share that testimony with you because a lot of us are dealing with depression. But I wanted to share with you something even more personal. Many of us have to work holiday season. Many of us have jobs where, even though it's Christmas, our job still is important. And our job doesn't give us the flexibility of being home for the holidays. What happens when your boss purposely keeps you for the holidays? That's what happened to me a year after my depression. I wasn't able to stay home for the holidays. I wasn't able to come home like I planned. And that's what today's episode is about. Working on the holidays, especially when your boss makes you do it on purpose. Have Faith, Let It Begin starts right now.
On June 16, 2018, a show designed for you, The Daily Commuter, went live. A weekly show all about faith. A show with motivational topics, inspirational stories, and personal testimony set out to change the world.
Hello, my name is Amari, and today we are back on another episode of Have Faith and Let's Begin. Hi, my name is Isabella, and you're listening to Have Faith, Let It Begin.
Hi, I am Mia. You are listening to Have Faith, Let It Begin.
Welcome to Have Faith. Let It Begin. Here's your host, Angel Santana.
Can you say Have Faith, Let It Begin? Huh? Yeah. Yeah? Daddy loves you. Daddy loves you. It's a Friday edition. And it is a personal testimony as we continue here at Have Faith Let. After a year of my depression, the following year I felt a lot better. Things had changed. Things had gotten better, personally and spiritually in my life. So I knew that the following year I would make amends. I would make sure that I would be home for the holidays and spend it with my family. Unfortunately, in the business that I was in back in 2001, 2002, I was dealing with a manager who had a problem with me. Now, what I didn't know then was he didn't have a problem so much with me, Angel, the employee. He had a problem with my mentor Ralph, and he had issues with him. And Ralph didn't work there. Ralph worked in a different location. But to get back at Ralph, he knew he could do it through me. The manager's name was John. John always had things up his sleeve. He would pull tricks on me like, hey, I know you worked the overnight last night. Don't worry about coming in early. Come in a little later. Get some sleep. And I'd say, man, thanks, John. I appreciate that. I'd go in and find out that I missed the meeting. And then I would get a verbal warning in front of the staff. He knew at the time that I would not be combatant back and forth with him, or I would stick up for myself because, quite frankly, I'd been on a transfer and I didn't want to risk my job. He would do things like, can you do me a favor? Can you run an errand? And it would make me go to the other facility, and he would tell me to stay there for a little while or wait for this and wait for that, only to serve lunch to the staff, so when I got back, there was nothing left. As the holiday season fast approached, he pulled me into his office and he said, Angel, I need you to do me a favor. A lot of the guys here have been working really hard, and I really feel that it's time to give some people some holiday spirits, and I'm going to give people some holiday half days, and people are going to take some days off for the holiday. Now, I want to make things perfectly clear. Christmas Day in that time was not, we don't work on Christmas Day. We did work half a day on Christmas Eve, and we certainly were right back at it the day after Christmas. So, the boss was telling me this, and I'm thinking in the back of my mind, he's about to tell me I can go home for the holidays. You see, I had put in for time off. I put in time for me to drive back, which is a 3-hour drive back home, spend time for the holidays, and return on the 27th, 28th. So, in retrospect, I was looking to leave on the 22nd and return on the 28th. And he said, I'm going to give the following people days off. None of the names were mine. He then said to me, oh, I forgot. You have no family in this state, right? And I said, no, sir, I do not. So nobody at all. I said, well, my dog, if you count my dog at the time. He says, that's nice. Well, I'm going to do something special for you. I'm going to allow you to spend the time with your dog a little early this year. So I'm going to let you leave an hour early on Christmas Eve. I said, well, sir, I put in time off for the holidays so I can go back to New York. I know, but I think it's the right thing to do to allow your other colleagues time, to have time with their families. I said, sir, but you just asked me if I had no family. If I work the 24th, I really can't go home for the holiday. Well, sure you can. You can leave an hour early and spend Christmas, and I need you here back on the 26th. So, well, that would defeat the purpose because it's a 3-hour drive, and I'd have to be back literally bright and early the next day. I would only get a day with my family. Well, I'm giving you I'm giving you an opportunity. Take it or leave it. So I had to leave it, of course, and I wasn't able to make it home for the holiday. I remember going home Christmas Eve, upset. I remember driving back home and thinking about where my family was and what they were doing at that very hour. My parents didn't proceed with opening some of their gifts because they felt that with me not being home, it was just not like Christmas. And they had done it before, and it was just something that was missing. I remember feeling such anger toward my boss, such hate. And then I remembered that forgiveness is important. Being kind is important. I remember watching someone on TV, Joel Osteen, saying, if you're right and you're rude, then you're wrong. Well, I was right. I knew that the best thing for me to do was not to get angry, not to get sad. He was wrong. He should not have put me in that position. He was doing it deliberately. There's a message here. Many of us will hold grudges. Many of us will be done wrong, so to speak. That's even better. That's even good English. We've all dealt with many different individuals who have issues with us, maybe because we're too nice, maybe because we're too quote-unquote soft, maybe because we are who we are, and it's not enough for them. People are envious. People are jealous. People do things maliciously at times, and we can't explain why. I'm a firm believer that actions speak louder than words. I made sure that I still found a way to go to a Christmas Eve special dinner that they had in the community. I went to a Christmas service. I bought myself a Christmas gift. Even though I knew what it was, I wrapped it, only to unwrap it on Christmas morning. I spent time with my dog. I paid my bills. And I smiled. And as I tear up, I'll be honest with you, I'm tearing up because I remember the pain that I had. And then I start thinking about all of you out there that may be struggling with lost loved ones. All of you that maybe can't make it home for the holiday because of the coronavirus. Technology did not work for me then. I didn't have Zoom. I didn't have video conferencing. We have that today. This illness, this virus that has taken over the world, has put us in positions where we cannot be home for the holiday. But we can still see each other, and we can still hear each other by the phone call. This will not last forever. We will have normalcy yet again. So for some of you that may be experiencing not being home for the holidays for the first time, trust and believe. I trust and believe it will not happen again. I believe in my heart that we're making great strides, that we're around the corner, and that hopefully this will be over. When I went home the following week, I was able to tell my boss, well, let me backtrack because I went ahead of the story. Hey, we're live, right? When I went back to work on the 26th, the boss was there. And I think he thought I was not going to show up. I think he thought that I would come in either late or maybe not return to work. What he was surprised to see was a smiling face. You see, what I did was I went to the store and I bought one of his favorite gifts. It was the popcorn with the different flavors, and I left it for him on his desk. He walked up to me and he says, "Why'd you give me this gift?" I said, "Well, I don't have any family to go home to. And seeing that I'm here 60 to 80 hours a week, you are the closest thing I have to family. Merry Christmas, John." He had no words. But he granted me an opportunity to go home for the New Year's. And I did. And I spent it with my family. And we opened gifts. We opened presents. We celebrated Christmas. Sometimes it's our actions that speak louder than words. Sometimes in life, we cannot hold grudges. We cannot have fear. We have to believe in ourselves and in others to do the right thing. It may not happen right overnight, but one day, when it does happen, it all falls into place. 3 years later, John Batura, that's his name, resigned. The new manager that was assigned was my mentor, Ralph. Life only got better from there. God answered my prayers. All I wanted was peace and patience and kindness throughout that office. And he did one better. He brought home my mentor. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for today's episode. We thank you for all that you have brought us. We ask you, Lord, now more than ever to come together. We know that many of us are contemplating and making a decision or a choice to say maybe it's not the best in our interest to drive home because of this virus. So I'm hoping that today's episode will resonate, that I too have felt that pain of not being home for the holidays. I too have worked jobs where despite the holiday we had to work. One thing that we have to remember is that you don't have to be right next to each other to feel the love and the passion and the kindness and the togetherness to celebrate this joyous spiritual holiday season. But what we can do is provide one another with hope, with love, with words of wisdom. Allow us now more than ever to do that for one another. May God bless you. May God bless your families. And from all of us here at Have Faith, Let It Begin. Especially my family, Ariel and Rachel and myself. Merry Christmas. And I'll see you again on Monday. And don't forget, have faith, let it begin. Thank you for listening to another episode of Have Faith, Let It Begin. That's right, Ariel. We're done with another show. And it's always great to have this show with you, my love. You know, we're going to encourage each and every person to listen to our show every single weekday. That's right, you and I are going to help change the world. Do you think that you can do that for me? Huh? Yeah, you know you can. She does. We want to let you know, and yes, we encourage you to listen to our show each and every weekday, and it's going to be live at 7:30. Make sure you're subscribed to our show. Make sure you get ready, fasten those seatbelts, because Ariel and I and my family are going to bring you a new topic, a new story each and every day, right? Isn't that right, Ariel? Yeah. And she's smiling at me. Guys, enjoy your day.